Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 141 of the Social Hour at BatmanOnFilm.com podcast. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Ramey. And this is one of those old school emergency podcast due to breaking news. So let's ride. Ron Lauer, senior BOF contributor. How are you?
I'm doing well. Seatbelt is strapped in. I'm ready to ride. Let's cruise.
In
my 2020 Kia Rio.
Yeah. Were
Good
you
gas
aware?
mileage.
Were you aware that the Actors Guild was striking for like 4,027 days or something, something that, or 220, 221, whatever it takes.
There you go.
But were you aware of that? Because
I was aware.
Yeah. And they settled the strike last night. And they're back at work as of 12:01 a.m. I'm not sure which time zone, but probably Pacific, right? That's where all that was going down. So the strike is over. The writer's strike has been over for several weeks. And now...
Where's the Batman movie?
It should be here now, right?
Come on. Let's go.
Yeah. Strike's over, and Hollywood will get back to work. And what we're really concerned with here on Batman on Film is, I know it's a shocker, but we're concerned with Batman on film.
Yep. And by extension, one other character by extension.
Yes. So we're going to talk about Batman, or The Batman Part 2. The Penguin, which I'm sure that's what you were alluding to.
Yes, sir.
Which is on Max. And, of course, Batman. I don't think there's even it's not a Batman. It's just The Brave and the Bold, right? I haven't seen it called Batman.
All I've seen is The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah, The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold. The DCU Batman. Let's start with that, because I'm more interested in the other two, to be honest. But sure. The Brave and the Bold. This was I got it from Deadline, but I think this was showing up in most of the trades. That, well, quick Superman reference. The Superman Legacy movie is still set to start filming in March of this year, or next year. I'm sorry, they had to go in a time machine to do that, right? So start filming next year, early March, and still has that same release date. What's the release date? June? Is it June 20?
I thought it was July.
It's July,
11th?
Yeah.
2025.
So that one was on like it was getting tight, right? The time frame was getting a little, because of hell,
you just imagine special effects. Like, there's going to be a lot of post-production, you'd imagine, for
and it's
a Superman movie.
Being released, half a year before the Batman Part 2. But anyway, and they also mentioned The Brave and the Bold. So I want to get started on Superman Legacy, because I could get down a rabbit hole real quick about all the non-Superman DC characters that are in it. But I will digress. The Brave and the Bold, Andy Muschietti is it's like they say in like early stages of the process of making a film. And Andy Muschietti, who is going to direct it, is overseeing a prequel to It, which the title escapes me right now. Do you happen to know the title? Welcome to
Derry.
Welcome to Derry. Yeah. Okay. And so that's going to be on Max, a series. So I don't know how long it takes to do a Max series, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously haven't been filming. I don't know how far along it is with writing, but I guess it sounds like something he's not going to get to the Brave and the Bold until after this is his work on this is over with. So with that said, there was some scuttlebutt. This is not in the trades. I did some betting on this one because every rumor that pops up that originates either on some form of social media, in this case on Reddit, I usually, I pass that one. I don't put it on Batman on Film, but I did ask a few people about this John Logan writing The Brave and the Bold, and I was told that it's legit, but there's no deal. He's not the
there's
writer.
no deal, but
gotcha. I mean, they've talked about it, and I don't know how far talks is like you just take a meeting and what would you do and what would you be interested. I don't know how far along it is, so I'm not going to even attempt to comment anything other than that. But he's he has skins on the wall, this guy. Skyfall, Gladiator. He's been nominated for 3 Oscars for writing. So it'd be a good get, for a writer. But with that said, I don't have much. I'm not interested all this much in this movie for a lot of reasons. Like I'm not a big Robin fan or a Bat Sidekick fan, or frankly, a lot of it's coming from the Grant Morrison thing. I'm not a big Damian guy. All that, it's not my thing, right? So where do you fall on all this? John Logan, Brave and the Bold.
I don't really have many feelings just because there's like nothing known.
Yeah,
Muschietti was announced the evening of the Flash starting to play in theaters that he's attached to direct. There's been nothing said since then. Like there's just not much to go along with anything. So it's very much of just like, hey, I have an idea that this director is gonna make a Batman movie, and then you go to the announcement of what the idea was, the plan that Gunn and Safran announced. And there's elements, and I've said it before on here with you, of like there's elements of it that I'm like, that doesn't necessarily excite me. This is also, it's just like it's ideas that it's so early on. So I just don't have, and also like even if everything they said I wasn't interested in, I'd say I'm not that interested, and then I continue on with my day. It's not going to destroy my world, Bill.
No.
But like I don't know, the Logan, like he's okay, seems like a credible writer. He wrote Skyfall, and though writing is one of many factors of making a movie, I freaking love Skyfall. So it's like, okay, cool, like that's great. And I see some of his other credits that he has on here, and it's like, okay, like by his resume, he's got quality projects. So that is like, okay, that's cool. That's encouraging. That's a good get of, this seems like this writer, like he's good. So yeah, I'm just like interested then of if it ends up becoming a thing that he does take on the story and take on the script, then, we'll start to get more details on, the synopsis and stuff. And then I can have more of an opinion. On what's
I'm with
coming.
you. Look, I don't disparage anyone who's, excited about it, because, there are Batman fans who like the sidekick and the Robins and the Bat family and the more fantastical
and want a little more
stuff.
fantastic. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's fine.
People want that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it seems to me that this is the Brave and the Bold. This DCU Batman is like the 180 from what Reeves is doing in the Batman saga, which is probably what they should be doing. You don't want,
Yeah. What's the point if you're going to make it the
Batman,
same?
the thing is, you can do this with Batman. Batman is is a character that has a lot of different incarnations, and they all work, and they are all legit, and they all have their place. It's not too many characters, comic book superhero characters, that are like that. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard with Superman, is because Superman is there's such a finite, rigid interpretation of the character.
This is how Superman is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean. I'm hesitant to feel one way or the other on something that's so early on. Cause I just I don't know. Give me some more, and then I'll be able to have more of an opinion. Just on the
I would
outside,
say
I don't like Damian, but it doesn't mean I haven't read stories that include Damian that I didn't enjoy too. But we'll see. That's kind of where I am.
I'm like not interested, and don't know enough to even really muster up any care for it right now. It's just, we'll see.
Sure.
But as I said, we'll cover it on Batman on Film.
Yeah.
And there'll be members of Team BOF who like this take. And that's cool. We're not all, it's not me and a bunch of clones. So, we all have different takes and opinions on Batman.
I thought you paid us to be yes men.
Oh,
my bad. Okay, cut that out.
You
write down the time code.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So with the Penguin, that thing should start hopefully gets rolling here pretty soon.
Yeah.
They were filming.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know how, that's the thing. We don't know how far along they were. Like I said, I don't know how long, like you're gonna do, what's the Penguin? Six episodes, 8 episodes? Is it 6?
I mean, if they announced it, 6 is good. If they announced it, I don't remember now.
Yeah.
What it was going to be. For some reason, I thought 8, but
yeah, I'm just I don't know. Like when you shoot one of these series like that for Max or whatever for Netflix, I don't know how long does that take? I have no idea. Hey y'all, it's Bill Ramey, founder of Batman on Film. Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor. So,
they shot enough to cut a little trailer.
Yeah. So I don't know how much left they have. What's funny is that like they were shooting, but they were still making casting announcements, kind of during that time as well. So, I'm told that it will still come out next year, but obviously probably later than they originally planned. You would think,
because.
But I don't know.
I thought they were aiming for spring, and then because of this, now I thought somewhere I'd read now looking at probably summer or fall.
Yeah. So it's right around. It'll still be next year, and it'll still be around that midway point, give or take, between the Batman and the Batman Part 2. If they don't move the Batman Part 2. That's no breaking news. I'm just
you heard it here first.
You just never damn know, especially with both these strikes and how it affected these projects. So I'm super excited for the Penguin. I'm all invested in the Batman saga.
Absolutely.
I read the damn Junior prequel novel. I read the Riddler. That's what you do. Once these are all like, you read the Junior novel, you read the Riddler, you watch the Batman, then you watch the Penguin on Max, and then you go see the damn Batman Part 2. But this is probably a dumb question, but I'll ask you anyway. Your anticipation, excitement level for the Penguin.
I mean, it's very high. Yeah. It was high already just at the announcement. And that's what's kind of funny, but like at the announcement of it, it was already high. but that's because the character's been established. We've seen the setting be established, the character be established, and everything. So it's like we had something to go on, and it was such a highlight of the movie. And then to know that, like, okay, now there's going to be a series in this world with this character. So like we have a taste, like we know what it's like, and so like we're going to get more and in depth, and then you add in all the other factors, and then we saw that spot that was like a little over a minute, maybe a minute and a half, I don't remember. And I was like, yeah, like awesome, like looks great, very excited for it. I think it's going to be really cool and something new, of like an expansion like that for a movie series.
We haven't, I wrote this long ago after the Batman, but it was like, we haven't really had this with Batman, we haven't had a Batman universe where it's dipped into books and comics, and then now TV and film, and then another film. And there's other projects that they're talking about to, like, it's 2023. We're at the end of the year, basically, for the most part. We can sit here and say, hey, we get to go visit the world of the Batman next year in the Penguin. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And then that should hopefully, help tie us over until we get to the Batman in 2025. Fingers crossed. The Batman Part 2 was supposed to start filming this month originally, and it's been pushed back to like spring-ish of next year. So if that remains the case, we should get some casting news relatively soon, and we can find out
who's going to play Egghead. Yeah,
Egghead, Scarecrow, Clayface, Crazy Quilt, Condiment King, Kite Man.
Yeah. Kite Man, hell yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So nothing earth-shattering, news-breaking here, but we can finally say we probably can start talking about these things, these Batman projects, and have news and things to actually talk about instead of waiting for this strike to be over with for it to get rolling.
Not that the rankings and the rankums.
No, the rankings been good. Yeah. I'm not done with rankum.
That's right. There's been a lot of representation of the Batman on these rankums as well. I just think that I really hope these past few months through the strike that Robert Pattinson hasn't let himself go.
Oh, he's got,
because then that budget for those muscles yet again.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he has Bosu ball and one dumbbell. He does have that.
How many pounds was that?
I think 5 pounds.
Okay, going for tone, not bulk.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how he got. It was CGI muscles and that 5 pound dumbbell that got him in Batman shape for the Batman. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we knew that with the Batman Part 2, and it was reported on BOF a long time ago that it was set to start filming in November. Not pre-production, but you don't imagine, it wasn't like the interrogation scene of The Dark Knight. It's like they weren't going to film that like starting in November. Wasn't this mostly going to start with maybe like overlooking shots, or isn't that like usually like a startup for things like this? I forget whether it was mentioned as it was making the rounds if they were going to start in November. Principal photography,
second unit type stuff.
Yeah, I thought that's how it was really gonna.
Yeah.
In which now post starts next year, which still isn't like. It's no cause to panic, because I just think back of how. Look at Dark Knight trilogy, and with Nolan, it would seem like July 2008 started filming spring 2007.
Yeah.
So for the Batman to come out in the fall of 2025 and gonna start filming in the winter of 2027, like I heard 2027, 2024, like all good,
I mean, that's what I've
it's
said all
plenty of
along,
time.
that the thing about the Batman Part 2 is that they had this really big cushion for when they announced
Yep.
the release date. I mean, we're still sitting here, like I said, we're sitting here, and it's essentially 2 years away.
Mhm.
So, I wouldn't start worrying till maybe we actually, they say we're going to push it back to 2026, which I hope they don't do. But, or, we get to this time next year and we've heard nothing. Well, then, yeah, but I don't see that. I mean, I'm being, that's the extreme. That's extreme.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would also think that if they were going to move the release date, we would have already heard that. Because
I think so too.
A lot of stuff's been moved. A lot of stuff's already been moved.
Those were articles that even dropped like last night, like after the strike was like done. It mentioned some films that were picking up right away, and then some that had already, one specifically that had already been pushed back. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, my life will continue on as normal.
Yeah,
but
yes.
I don't, just no need to panic. I think also, if wouldn't you feel that like if the Matt Reeves, who has control of this stuff, if he feels like he needs more time, wouldn't you want to give him more time?
Sure.
If he feels like he's ready to, if he says let's ride, then he's ready to ride.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're good.
I think
we're okay.
That's what Pattinson's Batman says right before he gets on the Bat Cycle.
Yes.
Let's ride. And he takes off into Gotham.
And then gets off of that, jumps on the Bat Horse and says, let's ride. And then gets up from there,
Yeah, that's a nod to the dark. Yeah, that's a nod to the Dark Knight Returns.
They can finally announce, and you're hearing it here first, that they've signed a horse to play Bat Horse. The next casting notice for the Batman Part 2.
That'll be in the trade soon.
Yep.
unless they go CGI with it. Bat Horse. Bat Cow.
Bat Cow. Also, there's a character for you in Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
In all honesty, I do think him having a dog named Ace would be cool. I would get a kick out of that.
It's no way that like couldn't just be put in a movie and be fine.
I mean, the dog was running around.
It's a dog.
And his name
Your dog
Ace.
has a name. Yeah. That's it. Done.
It's not like you put a cowl on the dog, like, in the 50s, and he runs out, gets in the Batmobile and goes with Batman and Robin.
I mean, you've seen ones of where it is just like a black, like Great Dane, and as it sits there and its pointy ears and everything, it's just,
yeah,
that could work in the Batman Part 2.
Yeah, have a dog in that penthouse, and he likes probably, he just walks around and that's it. There's a dog there. I like dogs.
Graceland, casting opportunity. Ace, it's right there. It's all there. It's all connected, Bill.
Yeah, it's all connected. All right, let's connect ourselves on out of here. I think we've I think we've covered everything. Nothing, like I said, nothing earth shattering. But just it's glad it's a good thing the strike's over and we can go back to status quo of we're in our wheelhouse here, right on Batman on Film. We get to talk about Batman movies that are being made. So, yep, all good.
Yeah. Hopefully something comes about of the Caped Crusader show.
Yeah.
I'm interested about that thing. Where's that at?
Yeah, that's kind of something that's there. It's in the background. You think about it every once in a while. God, we can get something with that soon, I would hope.
It was announced at the same time as My Adventures with Superman. And My Adventures with Superman has been created and aired and is now maybe like 2 months.
Yeah.
since the finales aired, and still nothing with Caped Crusaders. I'm really curious of when and where,
Well,
how.
when that happens, when the when and the where and the how happens,
Yeah.
we'll be talking about it on Batman on Film.
All right, we'll talk about it.
All right. Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, Batman-on-film.com. The feed where you heard this, listen to the last thing posted, because it was a new episode of Batman Animation where Trey Jackson and I talked about Superman the Animated Series. But this is an episode called Nighttime, heavily centric on Batman. So it counted.
I had forgot about that one. I went back and watched it. It met the criteria.
It did. That's what I told him. I told Trey right away. I'm like, oh, you rascal. I said I had to do some digging to remember that one.
Yeah.
When we talked about it, and I was like, no, the focal point is Batman, and it, he's very important to the story. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was a fun conversation there. So check out the BOF feed, and then check out my podcast, the Batman Book Club, wherever you listen to podcasts. Also posted on Batman on Film.
All right. I'll just piggyback off of that. Batman-on-film.com. Announcer Rachel will finish up here. And
Graceland.
Graceland. Announcer Rachel and Graceland will finish up here. We'll catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.
Say goodbye, Graceland.